Ethan Parker sat in his car, engine idling, staring blankly at the coffee shop across the street. Another failed job interview. Another polite smile followed by the soul-crushing words, "We'll be in touch." He knew they wouldn't. The weight of disappointment was familiar now. Too familiar. He clutched the steering wheel until his knuckles turned white. What am I doing wrong? He wondered. Why do I keep failing? His dreams felt like they were slipping further away with each passing day, and no motivational video or meaning pep talk, had been able to pull him out of the spiral. The morning sun glinted off a small figure crossing the parking lot. It was an old man, maybe 70, maybe older, dressed in worn clothes and pushing a battered bicycle with one flat tire. Despite his obvious hardships, the man wore a radiant smile, greeting passers-by with a nod and a good morning that felt genuine and warm. Ethan watched as people hurried past the man without so much as a glance. Something about the scene tugged at him. On impulse, he grabbed the few crumpled bills he had left in his wallet and stepped out of the car. "Hey," Ethan called. The man turned, smile widening. "Good morning, son," he said, voice gravelly but kind. "You need a hand?" Ethan asked, feeling foolish even as the words left his mouth. The old man chuckled. "Only if you're good at fixing tires," he said. Ethan grinned despite himself. He wasn't great at fixing much lately, but he knew his way around a bike. He knelt beside the tire, working with numb fingers, as the old man chatted easily about the weather, the town, and how beautiful mornings were if you just bothered to notice. Within 15 minutes, the tire was patched. The old man beamed as if Ethan had performed a miracle. "Thank you, son," he said. "People don't stop much these days. Everyone's in a rush to get somewhere, but don't even know where they're going." Ethan nodded, feeling the truth of that deep in his chest. The man reached into his threadbare coat and pulled out a crumpled, yellowed piece of paper. He pressed it into Ethan's hands. "My mother gave me this a long time ago," he said. "Saved me more times than I can count. Maybe it'll help you, too." Before Ethan could protest, the man hopped on his bike, gave a salute, and pedaled off down the street, the patched tire wobbling slightly but holding. Ethan unfolded the paper. On it was a single handwritten sentence. "You're not failing because you're incapable. You're failing because you've forgotten to serve others first." He stared at the words, a strange lump forming in his throat. He read them again and again, until they blurred with tears he hadn't realized were there. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. The old man's words echoed through his mind. He thought about how he had been living, desperate to succeed, clawing for every opportunity, thinking only about himself, his needs, his goals, his failures. In all his striving, he had forgotten the simple truth his parents once taught him when he was little. Success is a byproduct of service. The next morning, before the sun was fully up, Ethan made a decision, a small one, but it felt monumental. Instead of sending out more resumes into the void, he went downtown with a box of donuts and a pot of coffee and set up a little table near the bus stop where workers caught early rides. A hand-painted sign read, "Free coffee and donuts," just because. The first few passers-by looked suspicious, eyeing him like he was trying to sell something. But soon, a few brave souls stopped. He poured steaming coffee into cracked cups and handed out sticky donuts. He asked them about their lives, their families, their dreams, their worries. He listened. For the first time in months, Ethan felt alive. He kept coming back every morning. People began to recognize him. They smiled when they saw him. They lingered to chat. They laughed and shared stories. The bus stop transformed from a place of weary dread to a spot of warmth and humanity, all because one young man decided to stop focusing on himself. One rainy morning, A woman in a sleek suit stopped by the table. She looked out of place among the rumpled jackets and work boots. "Are you the one giving out free coffee?" she asked, raising an eyebrow. Ethan smiled. "That's me." She took a cup, sipping it slowly. "I see you out here every day. Why do you do it?" Ethan hesitated, then handed her the crumpled yellow paper he carried now in his wallet. She read it, and a slow smile spread across her face. "Interesting," she said. "My company's been looking for someone with your kind of heart. We can teach skills, but heart, you can't fake that. Interested?" Ethan blinked. "Interested in what?" "Community outreach director," she said, handing him a business card. "Full-time, good pay, real impact." Ethan stared at the card, then at the woman, and then at the steaming cup in his hands. His heart thudded against his ribs. He almost laughed at the beautiful irony of it all. Years later, as he stood on the stage receiving an award for outstanding service to the community, Ethan thought back to that one morning. The morning he decided to stop chasing success and start serving people instead. The morning he fixed an old man's bicycle tire. The morning everything changed. He pulled the yellowed piece of paper from his pocket, now laminated but still wrinkled with time. In his acceptance speech, he read the words aloud. "You're not failing because you're incapable. You're failing because you've forgotten to serve others first." The crowd rose in a standing ovation, but Ethan barely heard it. His heart was too full of gratitude, for second chances, for unexpected teachers, and for the mornings that could change everything if only you dared to show up.